All right, so today is all about redrafting. So we've done all this work. We should be ready, and so I'm going to go through a process that you can use to do that. So the questions are, what is one thing informational writers do before creating a new draft? And two, what does writing fast and furious mean? You might be able to answer both. All right, so this is something that you can do. I'm just going to walk through it, and then I'm going to debrief what it is. Okay? So when I look through my writing and all the notes that I've taken and all the learning that I've done, and think about what do I have in my writing originally, and what do I need to add. So for example, my first draft was just split up by conquistadors, indigenous people, and enslaved Africans. But I've learned more and I've thought about more since then. Okay, I haven't really learned about Cortez since then, so that's something to think about. I didn't really talk about Mestizaje, and I didn't talk about, maybe specifically about the enslaved Africans' life within Colombia. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep some of the information that I have, but I also am going to redo my draft. I'm going to just kind of do a very quick outline. So I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be more chronological. Okay? And I'm going to start with the Aztecs and Maya. Then I'm going to go Columbus. Then I'm going to talk about Cortez. And then I'm going to talk about the enslaved Africans. When I talk about Cortez, I'm going to be talking about the indigenous perspective. Okay? And then here I'm probably going to be talking about everybody's perspective. Do I need to do anything else? Maybe some subtopics. I think I'm not going to do any subtopics here, but for Columbus, I might say why, and then first voyage. I'll just be quick. What were the reasons that he left? Just a real quick recap, and then what happened on his first voyage. Just again, real brief. All right. So what did I do? I looked back at my notes. And I quickly, okay, I thought quickly. And then I made a list of what I was going to do, okay, and how that was similar or different. All right, now it's your turn. So I'm going to put these questions up. So you should have your draft. You should have your notebook. You should have some understanding of how you're going to do things differently. And I want you to take a moment and answer some questions and make a quick plan. Take about 5 minutes. Sit here. You can talk to people sitting around you. How is your writing going to be the same as it was? How is it going to be different? I'm going to be giving everybody 2 things. Number 1, I messed up big time and didn't hit print on both sides, so I apologize. The example I gave you before, that's more the example of what you're going to write next, a more kind of specified thing. This is kind of the example of what you're writing in the next few days. Okay, so they're both good, but this is kind of what it's going to look like. You're going to notice that there's really, I don't think there's any sort of pictures, there's no maps or anything. And I'll just give you an idea of what your draft, your final draft for this part of the unit is going to look like. Again, I didn't do it front and back, so if you could take very good care of these and give these back to me so I can reuse them, that would be nice, because then I wouldn't have wasted a bunch of paper. I'm also going to give you a bunch of loose leaf paper so that you can do your work. And I'm going to be putting that stuff on your desk during these next 5 minutes while you're planning what to do. All right? Cool. Get the plan. We'll do that. Answer those questions. Have a plan, just like I did.
Why did I start? Then what it means for what things they do. Empezamos como a los 8, serio, apenas como a los 9. Yo muy poquito bailé en serio, como un año. Yo, ¿cuánto dije yo?
If you have got yourself now in a place where you feel like you can start, please start. What do you think? Well, wait, hold on. Sorry, the Fast and Furious, I forgot that. This is one of those things I assume everyone knows. So again, we're still in the point where we're not focused so much on like handwriting and punctuation and spelling. So this draft, even though it's more professional, should not be labored over where you're like really worried about handwriting and spelling and everything. Right? We're still in the stage of just getting our ideas down. It's just in a different way. So that's what Fast and Furious was. I apologize for not saying that before. And then there you go.
Brain dump time.
So hopefully you got down this idea of going through your notes, quickly thinking, and then being able to have a plan so you can get going. And then again, sorry for not defining how Fast and Furious before. But the idea is we're still not overly worried about handwriting, punctuation, we can have mistakes, all that stuff. Now, I will end with this, and this is probably now the 5th time I've talked about this. Maybe some of us need it. What have we been doing for the last week? We have been revising. And during revising, you were supposed to add, change, and take away from your draft. Okay? Like I said yesterday, I think some of you have not been doing it. You've just been writing and thinking that you're publishing something. That is not the case. Never said that. And again, if you haven't listened and understood that, then I don't know what to tell you. But today, you are starting the process of writing a new draft. So you will turn in both drafts. And you will use the draft and the revision that you have done in the last week to add to this new draft. Do we have any questions? Tomorrow you'll actually have more time than I thought because the assembly got switched. So we will have writing time. Okay, so all the final product will be due on Friday. You have an example of what that would look like with different content, obviously. Then the Explorers. Anything else? Yep. So it's 8 to 8:40 tomorrow. All right. We don't have time. We have only about 10 minutes today. This is a short day anyway. Wednesday's short. That's why it didn't count as a writing day.